Hey guys, what's going on? Here's another video for you. This is my Rezn Collection. Rezn is a psychedelic doom metal band from Chicago, Illinois. They started in 2016 and released their first full length in 2017. This is Let It Burn. Admittedly, it had been a while since I've heard this before, like today, because they're always like releasing new stuff, and it's kind of hard to like go back and like appreciate why you got into them in the first place. But I turned this on today and I was like, this is a fucking killer ass, cool, like transparent smoky vinyl, killer ass fucking album. I mean, admittedly, there's like a lot of blatant like Electric Wizard worship on here. Yeah, awesome artwork too. But the production is so fucking good, and the tone of the guitars is so heavy. I hate to make this comparison again, but like, you know, Bong Ripper heavy, Conan heavy, and they just, it's like that. For people like educated in the genre, it just hits all the marks that you want out of like a heavy band. It's so fucking good. You have songs like Relax, which has this awesome psych part in the middle. I love the vocals. Again, the production on here is just fucking perfect. Everything I want to hear in doom metal. Wake is another, it's a huge Electric Wizard inspired song. You could tell by the riffs and stuff like that. But again, vocals are amazing. Dread is the third song, excellent song. It's instrumental, has a really cool atmosphere to it. This whole album has a very kind of like ominous, kind of like dark atmosphere, but mixed with like these heavy tones, and again, the drum production too is just perfect, man. Like, Harvest the Void was the song I think that got me into this band. It starts off with like a slow drum beat and like bass, and then just goes into this crushing fucking riff. I just love it, and the vocals are excellent. The Creature's a cool song, again, more like a bluesy Electric Wizard kind of riffing. The only thing I'll say is the song Fall Into the Sky, which is the third to last song, kind of feels like an afterthought compared to the rest of the album. But then the last two are great, Orbit and Astral Sage. Astral Sage is like this cool, like drony song. Just a fucking phenomenal album. The one down point, like I said, is that song Fall Into the Sky. I felt that was a little like, could have done without it, but everything else on here is just top fucking notch psychedelic doom metal. I fucking love it. This is an easy 9 out of 10. It's an incredibly strong debut album. So then after that, in 2018, they released Calm Black Waters, and this is a slightly different one for them. It's only 6 songs at 40 minutes. I will admit it took me a little while to get into this. Some cool blue vinyl, because at first listen it kind of felt like all the songs sort of sounded the same. They were all, I'm not gonna say formulaic, but they kind of lost the heavy production they had on the first album and went for a more psychedelic approach. Very like compressed kind of sound, which is cool. But like I said, at first it took me a little while to get into this. Like you have to give it a few listens to let it digest. But this album's excellent. I love the nautical feel throughout the whole thing. Mirrored Mirage is so good. Quantum Being was their single off this. Excellent song. I love the vocals, a lot of psychedelic effects. And this is when they begin to start doing that kind of what they're known for today, which is like this sort of mellowed out, meditative, like quiet instrumentation that kind of sounds a little reminiscent to like later I guess. Like kind of like maybe things like Pilgrimage and certain elements of God is Good, and what was the last one? Advaitic songs. But yeah, they do it tastefully, and this is when they first start adding saxophone too, which I'll explain later isn't my favorite thing, but it's still tasteful on here. And yeah, the whole thing's great. It's a short listen. It's really cool. I love the nautical theme. The best song on here is Bottom Feeder, I just love the atmosphere of that song. I love the overtly psychedelic guitar effects going on. I love the ending of it where there's like this percussion and it sounds like you're like on a shore, like on a rocky shore in the Mediterranean somewhere. So I don't know, that's just what I picture, but I think it's just such an excellent song. And then they close with Sunken, amazing song. I love the how it closes. Great album, not quite as good as the first, but very good. And give it a couple listens because you probably won't get it on the first. But yeah, I'd give this an 8.5 out of 10. Great shit. So then after that, they did a bunch of collaborations. They have this album live at Echo or Electrical Audio. And then they did a collaboration with somebody, Infected Ambient Works. I never listened to it because, to be quite frank with you, I've never heard a collaboration album in my entire time listening to music that I liked. I'll just be honest with you. So I just kind of didn't even really pay it mind. But then in 2020, they released Chaotic Divine. I bought this as soon as it came out. This is my least favorite by them. It's definitely bloated where it shouldn't be, or it doesn't need to be. But it does come with this really cool artwork. Fucking awesome. And then like this cool, like kind of Japanese looking artwork. I forgot if I got this in color or not. Nope, just black vinyl. But again, the cover is so fucking cool. Look at that. It's so awesome. But that being said, this is my least favorite Rezn album for sure. The opening song, Emerging, isn't the strongest thing that they've ever done. It's not bad, but it's not too memorable. Waves of Sand is really cool. The clean guitar riff in that song is so infectious. And this album, they go heavy with the meditative style, like the clean guitars and like almost the, not whispered, but like softly spoken lyrics. And I gotta be honest, they kind of do it a little too much on this album. It just gets boring at times. It worked on the last album, Calm Black Waters, because it was like very specifically based around an atmosphere. Like it was all nautical. This is kind of just like meditative for the sake of it being meditative, and sometimes it just doesn't always work for me. But Garden Green's a great song. It's a very influence. The Door Opens is one of the only like straight up doom metal songs on here. I love the vocals on that too. It's a very just declarative. But then you have Clear One, which is kind of like a forgettable ambient / psychedelic song. And it's instrumental. And then Optic Echo comes on next, and I'm not the biggest fan of that song. The saxophone is so annoying. Like I appreciate saxophone, but not when it's this up front. It basically is the lead in the chorus of this song, and I just find it it's just kind of annoying, and it's not my favorite song. And then the next song, Mother / Forever Time, is another kind of forgetful one. The last half is just like ambience, which is like fine, but it's like, do we really need that? Like, this album's like over 60 minutes. I don't know if it really needs to be that. Inner Architecture is a little bit better than the last two, although again, it's not really my favorite. The vocals, something about the vocals in that song kind of, again, I kind of find a little annoying. He had such better vocals in the first two. There's some parts in this where, I don't know, it's just not my favorite. And then Scarab is a staple for their set lists. It definitely sounds more like Sleep and like High on Fire, which is cool. It's definitely picks the energy up in that song. And then they go to Clear 2, which is another forgettable psychedelic ambient kind of song. And then the last song is very good. I like the psychedelic guitar effects going on in there. But overall, it's okay. It's definitely not as good as the first two, but there's some good songs. Garden Green, The Door Opens, Still Center. I don't know. I don't know. I don't revisit this that much. Let's just put it that way. So I'd give this a 7 out of 10. It's not bad, but it's definitely not their best. But the production's very, very good. one thing these guys always have going for them is the production. And case in point, the latest album they released, and they're, I guess the album after Chaotic Divine, I think I reviewed this earlier, is Solace. And they go back to, first of all, look how fucking cool this artwork is. I mean, is that not awesome? But they go back to the template they did in Calm Black Waters, and they make it a very short album. It's only 40 minutes, 6 songs, and I fucking love it. It's so much better than Chaotic Divine. The production on here is so fucking perfect for them and their style of music. I can't emphasize that enough. Everything is just produced to, like, perfection. And that works for them just brilliantly. The first song is so cool. It's instrumental. I love how it gets droney towards the end. Possession was their single. Excellent, excellent song. I love the vocal harmonies in that. Reversal is another cool one. Very hypnotizing. I love the instrumentation. Stasis, the next song, is probably my favorite on this album. It's so catchy. The vocals are so fucking good. So much better than anything in Chaotic Divine. I'm not trying to rip on that album too much, but this album is just such a step up. Faded and Fleeting is probably my least favorite song because, again, they go back with the stupid saxophone at, like, the forefront of everything, which I'm just not the biggest fan of. I got this in, yeah, cool blue vinyl. And then after that, the last song, Webbed Roots. Very, very good song. Very different for them. There's actually female vocals in there. And there's also blast beats at the end, which is interesting. But, yeah, another great song. I mean, for the most part, everything these guys do is gold. This was definitely a 9 out of 10 for me. I love this album through and through. So, yeah. And then after that, they did a collaboration with Venom Sabathe, which I listened to once, and I wasn't crazy about. I was like, I don't know. For me, it's like, I don't need to hear 2 bands playing at once. It doesn't really make much sense to me, but whatever. But yeah, I love Rezn. Great band. I can't wait to see what they do next, and I hope to catch them soon when they play live. They never play around me, but they do play a lot, so hopefully I'll get to see them at some point. And yeah, I can't wait to see what they release next. So if you haven't heard them, check out Rezn. Excellent, excellent fucking band. And I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll catch you later.